reconnect my cable down here. I made sure everything, my internet is working fine and dandy today for this account review. But as soon as the video started playing, I got some little notification saying my connection had dropped. So I had to run and get the cable from the other computer and connect it. Hopefully everything works out okay. So if you guys didn't see your teams here and you like to, just hit me up on Discord and I will make sure to have a little section for your own team. Some teams had to be merged, some teams had to be changed, but it has been the nature of this game for some time. All right. We're gonna, before we get to this, we're gonna give it some time before we hop in and invite some of our friends here. Have to kind of calm down for a second and kind of got my blood pumping listening to that song and having to jump back here in like 3 seconds before the intro ended. Kurt Atkinson. Glad you like it. Michael Jordan. Look, we got Michael Jordan in the house. Retired from playing basketball. Now he's playing Rice Tour. No better way to live your life. Blue Eye Devil. What's up, my friend? Berserker. Drake. Man, Bill, that's a crazy $49.99 super chat right there, man. Let's FKNG go. That would be a cool intro though. Play the techno game with some glow sticks. Not a bad idea actually. Not a bad idea. Review my season just got ended and I have some cool unique builds to show. All right, let's see. Hit me on Discord, Michael. I'm gonna hit me on Discord really quick. And we'll get to it. All right, let me see a couple messages here. Today we're gonna take it a little bit slow. Okay, we have 3 to 4 accounts to review today. So before we hop in and invite the first guest to be on, how are you guys liking 2.0? Like it or nah? What are your thoughts in regards to 2.0? Are you guys loving it? What would you change? If you could change anything about 2.0, what would you change? Just a lot of bad and misleading info. That could be it. That could be one thing. It's not bad. Just a lot of just a lot of relearn. That's true. I agree. Pavlo Mikitenko 2.0 bag in hits different. Really? Why is that? Why does 2.0 bag in hit different? Berserker likes it. They gotta change the T1 T2 respect leveling post ascension though. I agree. I'm preparing a little video on that. Not necessarily sure if it's gonna change anything. That's one of the craziest things that I've seen is making the lower tiers more expensive to bring up than the higher tiers. I've never seen that happen before, you know? You think that, okay, you might think that, T1, T2s aren't as powerful as T3s. That makes sense. I agree with that. But then once you ascend them to bring them to the same level as the other ones, it doesn't make sense for one reason. The skills don't improve. And the skills for T1, T2s are pretty bad. It's not the ascension extra, skills or the stats improvement that actually makes, make the commanders better. The skills themselves are pretty poor. So you either have to ascend the skills. That would make sense, right? You ascend the commander, they become more expensive to get. So then the skills become better. But no, you're still stuck with the same thing. It would be cool though if they reworked T1s and T2s. All right, let me just see if our first guest is ready. We'll be chilling in the public hangout. Okay, that way I don't have to give people extra access to this. All right, so let me invite our first guest. It was rushed. It probably needed another 3 months. I agree. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna give you my feedback. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the theory crafting that comes with it. I'm really enjoying that part. It's been really really fun. There are a lot of things that need to be fixed, but honestly, for the pace that the game is going, having 70 commanders. Think about this really quick, okay? I'm not saying that 2.0 is perfect, and there's still a lot of issues, but having 70 commanders in NRP. Think about this: having 70 commanders in NRP that you can really realistically only use 5, 6, 7, or 8 maximum. If you're crazy active like Jax and some others, you might run 10, right? But the average player, even the average active player, will probably run 4 to 5 for PvP. That means that if you're NRP, you're never gonna use the majority of your commanders. One, because they're not, really that good, but two, just because you don't have that much time to level everybody up, So combining commanders for this formation is not a bad idea for this purpose. Now, there are a lot of commanders that need improvement. So let me bring you guys. Here we go. Let me join the voice chat here. Okay, can I join my own voice chat? Why can I join? Okay, here we go. It's connecting. That was interesting.
You got to tell everybody.
What is going on?
You got to tell everybody which chat. It's very confusing.
No, I mean, the thing is, I don't want to tell people because if a lot of people are talking over the guy that's getting his account reviewed, then,
Oh, well, you got to have somebody make a waiting list. And
so what I've seen done personally is that there'll be 2 voice chats. They'll have everybody in one room, and then they'll keep bringing in they have the leader of this Discord has the ability to move people from one chat to another, so then they'll drag them from that voice chat into their private one that they're using to stream on.
Yeah, we'll do that probably for next time. So
that's what I've seen done personally.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hello?
What is up? What's going on?
So my season just ended. We pulled something out of our derriere and got a capital back at the last second. It was down to a T.
Who do you play with?
We were on just a random group. So ours is Mango Pizza.
Oh, okay.
Was our little name.
World.
What? Yeah, we were the Mangoes. We were the Mangoes. What was supposed to be a chill season of 20 turned into okay, well, we'll just be pitted up against the number one faction the entire season.
All right, that sounds fun, doesn't it?
Yep, but I mean, it was fun, good battles. Version 2 killed a lot of people, meaning killed the server. Almost everybody lost a bit. I want to say about 60% of their player base in every faction.
Definitely.
So then after that, what I noticed was whether they were geared or not, everybody was sending out minimum of 7 armies to make up for both the depopulation and more of testing of the builds and whatnot as well. But it was more of, okay, well, less people, less players, let's move around with more armies.
The unfortunate thing is with the lack of proactive communication by the team, by the Rise to War team, people like they created chaos because instead of them letting people know beforehand the things that they're planning on, they just like let everything out at once without actually having answers to any questions. So people just think that like people always just think the worst of of anything, which is it's normal. Because the thing is, I'm seeing a lot of people come back. A lot of people that said they weren't going to play. A lot of people are coming back because now that others are people are being able to analyze the new game and see that it's not as bad. You can still play, and
I figured. Yes, sir. I did figure something like that would happen. More of they didn't want to go through all the testing phase. Basically, they don't want to do the testing phase, so they're going to leave and eventually make their way back. But by then, they'll. As somebody who skips seasons after playing one, let's just say it gets rougher and rougher every time I come back. And I believe that they're going to get a first taste in that.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting. All right, A, you're up, my friend. Let's start. So there's 3 accounts we're going to review today, and then possibly one of mine at the end for whoever wants to stay until later to have a look. It's the one that I talked about on Monday, but we have 3 accounts. As long as everybody is, still here, then we're gonna, go over those. A, I can't see your Discord name, so you gotta let me know what it is. Let's see.
And here I am. It's and here I am.
And here I am. That's look at that beautiful name. And here I am. All right, cool. So, and I don't know if it was Dark Crow that was talking first, or was it you? Who do you play with?
What do you mean? Who do I play with?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Can you hear me properly?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can't see you, but I can hear it. I can hear you. Yeah.
No. What was your question again?
Who do you play with?
You mean commanders?
No, your team. What's your team?
I played with was evil RP team. I was playing with School, maybe you know. Then we had last season merge with Nova.
Okay.
And this was a merge of School and SAS, if you know these teams, I'm not sure. And then basically 2.0 hit us mid-season and we lost the most players.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then we lost our season, although we were winning. We were playing against Cats and Basque. What about second breakfast? That was a fun season at first, but 2.0 killed most of our members, and yeah. So now I'm starting playing with Yeet for next season.
Yeah, a lot of people are having to redo their teams now because of 2.0. I think like I said, a lot of people end up coming back, but we're definitely losing quite a few players to the new version. And here I am. By the way, I'm gonna call you A. Is that okay? Are you talking from your phone? Is that what you're talking from, or is it from a computer?
I'm talking with phone with headphones.
Okay, so I'm gonna need you to just be as close as you can while being able to look at the screen still, because just the sound is just a little low. The sound that's coming from your mic. Okay.
Okay. Right. Yeah, no problem. Can you hear me better now? Because I'm using headphones, so it should be fine actually.
Yeah, it's a little bit better. Yeah. All right. So whenever you're ready, let's get to it. We already So how much time are we in? We are already like 15 minutes in, if not mistaken. 15 minutes in. So let's get to it so people don't hop off. People are crazy to see your crazy account. So share your screen and then I'll pop it up on Discord. And the thing is, guys, we're gonna go over accounts that are not just big or small. It doesn't really matter the size of your account. We're gonna look into and see how much we can help. The nice thing is we're working on on Monday and yesterday, you guys saw a little taste of the new Commander build tool that we have out. How are you guys liking that? How are you guys liking the new tool? Have you guys used it yet? I'm asking because we're working on a version 2.0 already. But it's different than this 2.0. It's going to help you guys. Version 2 is going to be very, very cool. We're adding some interesting things to it, which should help you guys make your builds even easier. So stay tuned the next few days here. Shout out to Jerican. That guy, that man is a beast. He's the one coding all the things on Google Sheets. And once that is out, we hope to have some even cooler related to the tool for you guys in just a couple of weeks away. So stay tuned for that as well. All right, so you got your screen up. Let me pull it up on my Discord over here. Pull it up for everybody on the chat. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. Cool.
Okay, so maybe a little bit.
Give me just a second. Let me just make sure that your screen is big and that people can see properly. Here we go. Give me just a second. That way everybody can see without any issues. All right, so who have you decided to go with?
Okay, so maybe just a little backstory, like what were my thoughts about, like, yeah. So as I always thought, I was evil roleplay player and I liked it a lot. And then when this whole 2.0 thing came, like they were teasing there was no roleplay anymore and non-RP is the only way. Then suddenly the 2.0 comes and everybody sees, oh, we have roleplay. But then we see that we have chests for both evil and good. And then you just think, oh, and so was like question. So at first I was thinking, yes, stay RP, but now I'm just thinking, yeah, I'm going non-RP. So basically, as I already mentioned, I would like to go for this classic 2 supports, 2 damage dealers. One of these is Sauron, R5. And yeah, with pretty basic build for focus and initiative.
Okay.
However, I think maybe running Bone Mask with Hysteria, because it gives, like, if the Madness procs, it gives plus 5% from its R0.
Okay.
So I think maybe it's like, because I'm already using 1.0 and I won't get a set. So I think maybe that's a better solution. Yeah.
All right. So let me ask you a couple questions here. So what's gonna be your first formation?
I'll just focus on one for now.
Okay.
It's Sauron,
Okay.
Gandalf the White as support. I don't have them yet, but I have like some gold items that I will convert. But I'm just And then the 2 damage dealers will be Lurds, not Lurds. So
okay, Shadow and Dane, Sauron. What's the second support that you're going for?
Gandalf the White.
Gandalf. Okay, so you're going for the pretty meta build for NRP. Okay, good. I like that.
Yeah, so pretty basic, because I think for now it just I'm going with the flow, because I don't know, like, to experiment now. I'm not sure, because I don't have so much space to experiment with my account, so I'm just going straight.
Well, the best. So this is what I've done, and I think everybody should do. You have to build your first core PvP formations, and then once you have those, somewhat in place, then you can choose, one formation, 2 formation in the back that you can play with. That's what I would do. Even having a huge account or having a small account, that's what I do. And what I would probably do, especially being a lower spender, would be to have formations that you can switch gears between them. At least somewhat switch gears between them, making them still effective. Because ideally, you want to be able to play with more than one formation in battle. With the current stamina system, where you still have the individual stamina for each commander, that limits you to what is it? 10 moves. Outside of the 24-hour buff, it's 20 moves until he starts to to reload again, to recharge. And so
Yeah, that's
go ahead, Jax. Go ahead.
That's kind of a broken mechanic right now. You can just swap gear around. It's crazy, really. I mean, you really only need, if you're not a big spender, you only need kind of, maybe 6-8 pieces put together for whatever troop, damage, focus, and then you can just...
True, exactly. So
but then it's the point is like you get 1 point of skills every 3. Like if you like invest all your respect in one formation, the second formation won't be like, will stay almost without respect, and you will miss out on much. Like that's...
Do y'all mind if I butt in
Go
real
ahead.
quick with the whole respect thing? I really don't think respect matters all that much too much after you reach 10. Just due to the fact that I'm running R6, 3s, and 5s, and I'm killing Zeniths. I'm killing Zenith meta armies, and I'm not even relatively close to that. I'll show y'all that report later when I go, if y'all want to. But in my personal experience so far, respect doesn't play that big of a role yet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
After you get 2.5, after you can fill up 2.5 trees, respect don't matter too much anymore.
Yeah.
That's true. But I think there's a little gap there. I think people are struggling to to understand that there is a gap. If you an R5 formation is never going to beat a R20 formation, an R25 formation. It's never been the reality. We all know that, right? That's never been the reality, even in 1.0. 1.0, the way that you could win is if you hit specifically with that counter, which is true. We had the counterplay back then, which we're trying to understand if there is one, if there really is one now. But my goal for myself and for the community is, at your level, have the best formation that you can for your level. If you're gonna fight, I'm never gonna take on Jax ever, because he has basically maxed everything.
But I fought him.
But I'm not really trying. I'm not really trying to beat him. I'm trying to beat everybody else around him, because they're closer to my level. And so that's, honestly, guys, this is how I feel everybody should think when they're building their formation, is not trying to overdo bigger players. It might happen. You might be able to have a build that are more invested in you. That's for sure. But in reality, the goal that you're trying to make is, how can I beat the same people fighting against me, or a little bit below or a little bit above? That's what I'm going for. I sent my Azure core formation a couple days ago against a welled out commander, like crazy welled out. And I'm still using 0 star, because I was testing, I'm using 0 star strength and then 0 star refined gear on all of my 4 commanders, okay? And I'm hitting this crazy Zenith 4, all 4 commanders are at least like Zenith 4, and I'm getting destroyed. But I'm still taking away like 1/5 of his health, 1/4 of his health. And I was happy because I was hitting with T2s that were not ascended. I think it was Azure Core, Sunend, Black Serpent, and Sauron. Azure Core was R5. Sunend was running the Beast. I did not have the dispersion skill yet on Azure Core, so it wasn't proccing like crazy. But it's still taking 1/4 or 1/5 of a crazy whale with the commanders that I was sending against with. Was great. It was a great result. I was happy with it. So that's really how I feel everybody should go, is make the best build that you can with what you have. And in a lot of battles you're gonna do well. And when you get you get wrecked by those crazy whales, it's the nature of the game. So
yeah.
All right, man. Let's go. You got 4 commanders you want to talk over. It's Sauron, Gandalf the White. So Sauron is R5. Are you gonna pump anything else to him? Because you have a lot. You have a lot of respect items that you can use.
Yes, but I don't think in that position that I utilize him in my team. I don't think it's much more respect needed, because it's just basically initiative for Madness procs and R5 debuff. So it's just R5 R0, and and skill and a lot of gifts and Gotao each.
Awesome. That's good. I like that. So for Sauron, skill wise, for him being the support, I would run Deceiver, the enemy, and if you can spare 1 point into Lord of Gifts and one point into Gorthar, because you try to get those madness and those stuns to proc. It'll be great if you could do that.
This is exactly the strategy.
Perfect.
Like Sauron is easy because he's just basic support. I know his job is to proc madness and pre-battle and get this tasty evades and hidden councils. And
perfect. That looks good.
Minus 50%. Also, like the 3 shadow, I was thinking about between shadow and lords, and because I decided for shadow just because of the follow-up, and because White Council is pretty, he will also deal damage, but still with this follow-up, it's like a very good utility to get this White Council as fast as possibly down.
That's what you want to do. All right, so you got your 2 damage, you got your Dane, you're gonna raise respect on the shadow then.
Yes, I will. My thought was, I counted up. I need like 150, I think 150, 160 respect items for Dane to become R10 and to become R5. So it's
so you have enough, right?
Yes. So it's pretty roughly enough.
Okay.
Yes.
You have it spot on, honestly. Having Dane in your main team, the sweet spot for Dane is at R10, because you didn't unlock his unique, and his unique is very, very good. So that's one that you definitely want to unlock the unique for, is him being your heaviest hitter. Shadow, you can use him at lower respect. I think our build is the build that let me see what I did his build today. Let me just see here. Yeah, the minimum for Shadow, you definitely want to unlock his R5, to remove those white councils as quick as possible. So a couple more respect on the Shadow. You got a lot too. You can pump him really well.
Okay.
Good. That looks good.
My question was, like, how important is focus damage? Because this is like the thing that I still didn't figure out yet. Because is it like because in 1.0 I liked focus damage a lot because it was like different, and is it now also is it value to focus on Spellhelm or Cestaro, because they're just not physical damage but focus damage?
So go ahead, Dark Crow. Go ahead.
You said you wanted to run Gandalf the Grey, right, for your main?
Gandalf the White.
Well, set him up with focus so that his White Council, because White Council is affected by focus. So you want as much focus on Gandalf the Grey due to White Council. Gandalf the Grey, I've noticed, has been more support since version 2. Support/unit build. But mainly with the support of the White Council being the main play as to why everybody's running him. Same thing with Sauron. I've heard good things with it, but I've also heard that when paired up against Gandalf, he kind of falls short a little bit. But he's still really good support.
Yeah, so at lower respect, Sauron really has one role, which that's support role. Like you said, top R0, R5, 1 point into each of the bottom R0 and R3 for the procs and crowd control. Gandalf the White at R5, he's mainly gonna be your support. He's gonna be your mitigation. Whereas Sauron is pumping damage with his top R0. With White Council, Gandalf the White is going to be mitigating all that in upfront damage, and with his R5, him and Sauron are going to be increasing the damage, that the enemies take, which is great. Two great tanks right there, two great supports right there, and Dane's going to be pumping out your damage like crazy, especially if you get him to R10. Then, yeah, he's gonna be pumping out some really really good damage. So,
what do you think about like focus damage dealers like Svalhelm and Cestaro? Because is it like comparable to Dane? Because like I asked many like in chats, and everybody say, okay, Dane is just so good. If you have possibility, just go for it. It's like, and it's like not a comparable to someone else. But this was also like regarding focus damage dealers like Cestaro and Svalhelm with Unique also.
well, they're definitely very strong. Cestaro has one of the highest. Cestaro has one of the highest focus damages in the game, if not the highest. So it just all depends on if you have the gear to put on him. That's gonna be the key here.
This is, I have pretty much best in slot for as well as physical damage commander, and also best in slot for focus damage.
All right.
Commander.
So do you have Dane unlocked?
Not yet, but I can do it. Like this is like because our season won't start 1 or 2 weeks, and I'm just like not sure if I should do it like right now because they changed something.
That's true.
And this is like, and that's why like sitting in backend, you just like sit there and just hope, okay, as soon as you start, they won't change anything, and that your formation is still good if it was good, or it like might become bad. I don't know.
All right, so let's do this. Let's do. Do you have Gimli? Do you have any other damage dealers that you can use as a yeah? There you go. Let's use Lurtz as an example. So show me the best in slot gear that you have right now for your main damage dealer. Okay, you got the Axe of Khazad-dûm. Good.
This is the only one. I don't have.
That's fine. That's still a great choice. If you don't have the other ones, it's still a great choice. See, this is what I would tell people if you don't have the best in slot piece of gear yet. What I would do is, I just save the hammers that you get at the end of the season every time, and then for your main commanders, whenever the best in slot gear, either you pull it or something happens, you're able to get it. Then I break the current piece of gear that I'm using, breaking with the hammer. That way you get everything back, the original stuff back, and then you can redo all your gear. That's what I do. That's what I will do, and that's what I advise people to do.
So yeah, so it looks basically like this. And good thing I have a good amount of color tiers to refine. And yeah, I have also Cask of Pride, although something to refine, although it's like not so important because it doesn't give damage. And I have also one more Axe of Khazad-dûm, and that's basically it. I have also one Black Bow, so it's not much more to refine, and I have only one Blazing Tongue. So this is like the only thing.
All right.
It's not so refinable, but yeah.
All right, so.
And for my if I would run like 2 damage commanders with gold gear, like as I already said, so my second set I was planning to go on here. I don't really have armor piece, so yeah. I mean, this one would be good, but I converted many goblin armors in 2.0, so I can't use this 1.0 gear. So I think I will just go for, I think this was like scale mail. I'm not sure what was the best in slot. I have also Berserker's Ace. I think this is like the second best in slot, and Drums of Barad-dûr.
All right.
And this would be my second set.
Perfect. Looks good.
For my damage dealer. However, why I was asking about like focus damage dealers, because I unlocked when 2.0 came out. I unlocked the star because like I liked him so much, and I have also like best in slot gear for focus uh, commanders. And but the thing is, like I don't have like a signet of barrel, so I can't unlock his unique. That's why I backed down on him. Yeah.
Right.
So basically, that's why it's my question. If it's like if
you got that right there is a
compatible.
really great set for your focus damage dealer, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, give me.
That's why I was either Dane or Skullhelm. Like this is like the one thing where I'm not 100% sure about.
Have you heard of All Things Middle Earth? That YouTuber, he mained Sistero and also dropped a video on that too in his Pure Nazgul team. So
yeah.
You can later on as he plays, you can check out his reports and see if you want to go that route too. So I heard that he just sent.
But for him, as I already said, I just don't have the signet of the barrel, so I can't unlock his unique like in near future thing. That's why it's a star.
Yeah, I mean, this is, if you're gonna play him in your second formation, he's definitely one of the two you want to have on your damage dealing, as your damage dealer for sure.
Okay, but if I'm going this classical, like as I already said, Dane, Shadow, Sauron, and Gandalf the White, how could possibly a second formation look like? Like it would be, for example, Woods. I mean, it's like pretty obvious. And who could it possibly be? Because otherwise of them, I don't have really much.
Yeah. Give me just a second here. Go ahead. So Lurtz and Star would be a great choice for you to use.
Get off the gray for support with those two.
Mm-hmm.
Would be good. And then one more support, I would assume.
What about Grishnak? What do you think about Grishnak?
So I'm going to show here soon. Oddly enough, Frodo and Sam have been good tanks this season. Really good tanks. I'll show some reports on that, but maybe you got two damage dealers in the front, one support, one tank.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm just
but
having to close some screen since for some reason the drop rate on my. So I feel like the thing that the guys on the stream here keep saying the connection keeps dropping. So let me just check something really quick here. It's not the internet, it could be the hardware on this new PC. So let me just close some stuff around here to make sure that we got everything. All right, let's see if that improves the quality. Never had this issue before, so. All right, hopefully the connection stays stable. Make sure everybody can still hear. All right, guys, let me know if the quality of the stream is better now. Okay, at least if it doesn't drop, I'd be happy. All right, so let's go ahead here. Let's go back. So you have. Let's just finish on your first formation. I don't want to leave things out before we move on to.
And especially tilted armor with attunement, because it gives us focus and it gives initiative. So I think it's like not a bad choice for Gandalf the White as support.
Yeah, definitely not bad. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, you want for Gandalf the White, you want the speed, but you also want as much focus as you can. So White Council is, it stacks, right? The damage reduction is modified by the focus. So the highest you can bring them, the more reduction you're gonna have. That's a good idea. All right. So you also don't have. I'm assuming you don't have Gandalf the White unlocked either, have you? Okay.
No.
No problem.
But I can just
No problem.
like I'm just really this refunds and back end and not possible to test anything. It just makes like I'm just not sure like if I do this now, like if what will happen in 1 week, in 2 weeks. I'm not in season, so I'll just be too fast to do something stupid, you know.
Yep.
And yeah. So, but I don't think that it will look much different than what I have for Sauron. So I think I will go with Power Classic. Maybe not Classic, but 2.0. Maybe I also have enough weapons for a third gold piece, and I saw that Reach of the Reader Mark is also actually a pretty good choice.
That's for Gandalf the Grey. Are you saying this?
Gandalf the White. I'm just using Gandalf.
Yeah, I personally find Reach of the Rider Mark an interesting tool because it gives attack and focus. It's kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, obviously, it doesn't have the highest stats when it comes to, when it comes to attack. It's not as high as as the Axe of Khazad-dûm, but depending on what you're working with and what you're trying to do, it will work well. You got the initiative, you got the focus. That's good. And what are you trying? Are you trying to make Gandalf the White fast as well, or are you just trying to give him as much focus as you can?
Basically, I'm leaning towards focus, but to catch some initiative as possible with the gear.
With Gandalf the White as well.
Gear. Yes. So basically, I would say here maybe go for Hysteria, because then it correlates with the Sauron's R0 plus 5% when Madness. So I will have already 2 formations each round that will be like 50%, of course, Madness chance, but yeah.
I'm assuming.
So I think maybe
I'm assuming then you're gonna go with. So all your gold gear is gonna go into your damage dealers. Is that what it is?
Yes, exactly. I think so. I think this is like the play because I'm not sure if it was it to give it to Gandalf or to like Sauron. 100% no, but Gandalf the White, I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think you got the principles of each build pretty well. Sauron, you want the initiative as high as you can, as long what else? Because you're using him as support, so you're giving him extra. I mean, a little bit of you want the focus to be high because his R0 stat, scales a little bit with focus. I've done some testing, not a crazy amount, but it's extra damage, and then his R5 doesn't really need anything. So a little bit of focus in the speed would be good.
You still have Pursuit Fireworks?
Yes.
All right, max that up and slap that on Dane. You're going to want that to counter all the Gandalf the Whites and the Gandalf the Greys you're going to see in every meta build. You're going to want that to mitigate that.
So for Dane, Wizard's Firework with Hunter's Mark, is it even better than than Palantir? Good refined Palantir?
Well, it's mainly the pursuit you want. It's the Hunter's Mark that you're after.
Okay.
Wow.
That's just a good to have. Really.
I mean, if you have extra gear to play with it, I would. But the thing is, so why are you saying you need pursuit against Gandalf the White?
Because in the early, I've noticed, at least for me in my builds, I'm not getting off as much hits as I do against the other commanders. Basically, I've looked into reports and I'm missing some of them, and I don't really. That it kind of makes me wish I kept my pursuit.
Because the thing is, the reason why I'm asking is, I mean, White Council mitigates damage, but doesn't exclude you from actually hitting them. So,
there's.
Mind if I chime in on this?
Salmon.
Go ahead.
So with this, the thing is that when you're actually mixing these 2.0 and 1.0 gears, the main thing you're trying to viability is a stat difference, right? Chasing pursuit to counter Gandalf the White and stuff isn't a huge deal because Gandalf the White's ability scales from each individual hits, kind of like similar to stuff like that. He's still hittable and it's not going to fully counter those hits. And also, when sacrificing some things like 2.0 to 1.0 gear, you are losing the 2.0 benefit of a what's it called 2.0 what's called
The
set
gear
stack.
sets.
You know, the
Yep,
stat
the gear
bonus you get
sets.
from
Yep.
the set. Yeah, my bad. You're sacrificing that as well. The only main occasions this is mostly worse is especially it's more of our catering to more bigger players. Like I've seen as high, especially Gandalf the White mixing that 1.0 and 2.0 gear for that high focus, it's worth it. But I would say with Hunter's Mark and especially on Dane, that's a little bit too much sacrificial if you don't have a Plantier. If you Plantier, sure, you can consider it. But I feel like Hunter's Mark on, especially with fireworks on him, is just sacrificing so much potential damage. It isn't worth it in this kind of meta. If you get what I mean.
With that said,
about that.
Go ahead, there, Crow. Go ahead.
I said that is 100% true. I didn't think that far. That was my fault.
No, you're good, man. You're good. It's different ideas. We know we all bring it together. So just to summarize it, what I do, I would only use 1.0 gear if you have just a crazy amount of gear that you can have there just for fun in the future. You know, because we don't know exactly what's going to happen with 1.0 gear in the future. They might stay there, but they might find a way to make it so it's useless to use them, and you're either going to have to scrap them or you're going to have to lose them. So I will only say try 1.0 gear, and they might be better for certain scenarios, but the game is moving towards 2.0, and you want to get the most out of your gear, especially if you are a lower spender. And so that's what I would do. That's what I will do. After I build my formations with the gear that I know I should have, whatever is left over, if there's still 1.0 gear that I might want to play with in the future, I'll give it a try. But besides that, I'll probably just keep my my 2.0 gear as much as I can. And now the thing with evasion, the only one really you're trying to have pursuit for is Gil, right? And so I'm not seeing that many people running Gil to the point that it makes at least that it makes that huge of an issue right now. So I do agree. You're gonna sacrifice your only second piece of gear that gives you commander damage. I would not do that. I would keep my Palantir very close to me with as much refinement and strength as I can. Just remember, guys, if the gear set is it's the third thing you really should look for. If you have the best in slot gear but you don't have the gear set, that's fine. The two top things are the most important. The gear set to me is an extra bonus. Right? That's why Siege is plus 10%, because, really 10%, it matters that much, so it's just an extra bonus. Like, it's a cherry on the top for whoever is able to make that, to make that set. It's looking good, though, eh? I see you have your first formation pretty well set up. In terms of your Sistar that you talked about, if you're going to use them on your second formation, for him, it's the same principle. He's a focus damage dealer, so you want to stack, for commander damage. That's the first key thing you want to do. What's up, Luke? Luke Thomas, I'm glad you joined, sir. Hey, Jax, we got our motto here today again. He's in the chat. We got our motto in the house. So the first stat you're looking for in any kind of damage dealer, it's damage, and then whatever stat for that type of commander. Physical, you're looking at attack, and for focus, for elemental, being fire or anything else, it's the focus. So right there for your Sistaro, and he's great.
Yeah, you just got to build on him. Who are you talking about?
We got
Anthony?
Surtur, the black.
Oh,
Lord.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Charlie Hunnam. Yeah.
Who are you looking to use on your second formation, though, eh? Besides Sistaro and Lurtz.
I'm generally interested in Krishnak. What are your thoughts about him? Like, I think, like he has some interesting skill sets, like with this defense. For example, if you have in the beginning, you have the White Council from Gandalf the Grey, for example, for your second formation. Then you have your Survivor, and you have some stunts. Like the only problem I see in this is like the modified by defense stat, and it's like defense is mostly from gold gear that you get.
Yeah, the highest defense.
So
for
I'm
sure.
not. Yeah, so I'm not sure like how playable he will be. Like without
there is some viable 2.0 gear now with 2.0. There's some defense viable pieces now. Like they especially with cross compatibility, you can get up to, I think it was, when I was doing Falcon tests with purple gear, I think I got up to like 100. I think it was 120 defense stat. Might have to check me on that, but yeah, you can do it. But yeah, no, I think you could definitely make it work. But yeah, but there is some viable gear to make it work. It's with 2.0, that is.
Okay.
All right. So, I mean,
I
would. Grishnak would not be my first choice. Now if you're gonna run Lurtz and Sestaro, the good thing about Lurtz is that you really only need them at R3 to work, because you get full complete trees at R3 with Lurtz at level 50. I would look at other two commanders that might do a better role at being your support. Grishnak, I don't think is gonna do enough for you to fill that role. So
Glasha, but the problem is it doesn't scale so well. So like I'm not sure like who is viable otherwise in evil side as a support. So maybe it's like, as already was mentioned, Frodo and Sam is like pretty good pick, and of the Grey is a solid pick. So yeah, maybe to look towards support, good side. Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm testing Glasha on my third formation, because I'm going to use her as kind of a test thing, but Glasha should be okay. She's not going to do you that much. I mean, if you're going to go NRP, you definitely have better options. You can run let me look at Isildur's R5 again really quick.
That does plus 50.
Yeah, so like this, if you're looking for damage, you definitely can go with Isildur. He's a great option. And if you're gonna play in kind of disregard Bloodline, you can play. If you're gonna disregard Bloodline, then you can play Falcon in your formation and run Lurtz and Sestaro with with dwarves for that extra mitigation as well. So that's what I would think about. If you're gonna play NRP and in the scenario you're gonna just forget Bloodline and the extra little bit of attack and defense, and either run 3 damage dealers possibly, or 2 damage dealers well equipped with two supports, or 1 support and the other's support / crowd control. Whoever you can find that has can stun or give madness, things like that. Kind of what you're doing with your Sauron. That's what I do.
Yeah, I'm just like, then if you like mentioned, like I have already some options, like it would be Gandalf the Grey, it can be Frodo and Sam and Falcon. So then I will just need to look what do I have, Geo-wise, and yeah. But
So
damage, yeah.
Go ahead. All right, man. It looks good. Looks good. Any other questions?
No, basically it was it, because like I was like, the main question was like 1 or 2 formations, because this was like I was 100% not sure if it is worth it, like to spread a little bit out, but like this it looks like much like better, and then I will have more time to play. This is like really cool. And yeah, maybe just general, maybe your thoughts on real role play still be there in 1 or 2 seasons, or what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so something interesting that one I mentioned, and that's true. Okay, we found in our group that focus, trying to reach that like the max amount of focus, like close to the 300s, like like some commanders can with certain pieces of gear. It's the difference between like 100 to 200 max there to between the 200 and 300. The difference in damage hasn't been that huge. So you don't worry too much if you can't, stack 250, 260 of focus. As long as you're stacking as much as you can in the commander damage stat, then hitting that 190, 200 focus should still give you plenty of focus damage on your damage dealers.
Okay, sounds
all right.
good. So yeah, I think I have everything that I need to start my season in 1 or 2 weeks. Let's see.
Don't forget, if I don't know if you have access to the tool that we shared. If you don't, make sure to use it because it's going to be, a very, very good resource to planning out your formations there, looking at the gear. That's something that I do with, before strengthening and refining. Just go to the gear, to the tool, put the commander you're going to run, what respect you want him, and start playing with the tool. Look at your account, what you have, and put it there, and you can manually. Let me show you how it works if you guys haven't seen this yet. So let me just pull it up really quick.
I will stop sharing so I can also look.
Yeah, really quick, since I can't be both on YouTube and this, what time number is it right now so I can go back and look at it?
For what? For the tool?
Since I can't see.
It's exactly 1 hour and 1 minute.
All right, thank
You're
you.
welcome. So let me just pull up the proper link for this. Okay. I can also share my screen here on Discord really quick so you can see. So you might be able to see it here. Share screen. Share with everybody at home as well. Let me just pull this up. Nope, not that one. Here we go. Here we go. Let's make it just a little bit bigger so everybody can see. You guys don't have to zoom in on YouTube just to see this. All right, so for example, if you're going to build your commander, and you want to, before messing around with your gear, you can just come here and say, so let's say he's going to build his Dane, right? So he can come here, choose his Dane. Let me go all the way down here so I don't mess anybody up. All right, so I'll choose my Dane over here. Okay, I can put the respect level. Let's see, so he's going to look, for his Dane at R10. That means I can unlock the piece of gear, right? And then I can start playing with the stuff that I have. So he is going to use... It's going to be a physical damage dealer. PDD means physical damage dealer. Use preset gears. Click yes, and it's going to auto-populate all the best physical damage dealing gold gear in the system right now. Just give it a second. Kind of funny if it doesn't this time. There we go. Axe of Khazad-dûm, Berserker's Raiment, Cask of Pride, and the Palantir of Orthanc. And he can say, okay, but I don't have, I don't have it 5-star strength, and it's only 3 stars. And it's only 3 stars refined. All the numbers will change here as soon as you start inputting things, right? So he doesn't have the Berserker's Raiment, right? So he has the massive breastplate. So let's say it's 5 out of 5. That means I'm still getting, if I have a 3 stars refined and strengthened Axe of Khazad-dûm and a massive breastplate, and then I also have, I think he said he had, let's say he has, okay, he does have the Cask of Pride and Palantir. That means it's depending, now he has to see what is going to be his strengthening and refining levels. And here the calculator will give exactly what your damage is going to be. So you can look at your average or your minimum or your max, right? But let's look at the average. So his average damage at level 50 would be 52 of commander damage. His attack would be 205, which that would be perfect. 205 is the sweet spot that you want to go for. And then, right, you can look at the gear sets. And we're gonna talk about later in the week or next week about the gear sets. They are less relevant for, you know, if you have the right gear than if you have purple gear. You want to look at the gear sets just because they have less stats. So whatever your commander is lacking on, you want to boost it, right? So let's say, you know, with purple gear, right? If I change here to gold, from gold to purple, and I say, you know, click use preset gears, give it a second, it's gonna pop up here really quick. Just because there we go. So look at this. Now my damage has decreased quite a bit, right? But so has my attack. What I do in this case, if I'm running only purples, I would go for Sharp Blade. Because Sharp Blade is going to give me an extra 20 of attack. And that kind of makes up for the drop in attack that I get from the purple gear. There you go. That would bring me to 146. Obviously, it's not that close to 200, but that's what I would go for. And so you guys can play with this tool as much as you want. Ideally, you're going to come at the top here and make a copy for yourself. And Jerikin has also put a video at the bottom here. See if I can show it. See, a video at the bottom here and written instructions how to make the triggers, how to activate the triggers, the scripts, so that all of this will run properly. Okay, so you guys can use this. It's linked in the Discord, and so you guys can use it as much as you want. And we're implementing some cool things in the future on this, so make sure you guys use it. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Let me just stop sharing for now. Here we go. All right, let's look into our next.
I guess that would be me or Jax.
There you go. It is. Give me a second here. All right, let me go back to the voice. All right, Jax, are you coming up next?
No, let him go.
It's your turn, my friend.
Whew. The follow-up to Jax's accounts, I feel sorry for that person. All right. Yeah. All right, let's see if I remember how to do this. Let's go here, screen share, that, broadcast, start broadcast. Turn that off. Go here.
All right, let me just pull you up pretty quick. Give me just a second to. There we go. This is the one. Yep. Oh, this is the one. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can. Loud and clear, buddy.
So I went a bit different than the usual meta, right? So I thought I wanted to play Aragorn Strider. So I was going to make him work some way, somehow, and I feel like I'm doing okay with it, considering who I'm fighting.
You're running King of Man, right? Is that what he said?
I'm running both King of Man and Strider. The main one is Strider. Like everything's revolving around him. Trying to.
All right, that's interesting. Okay. All right, can you show us your gear, your commander page really quick?
Yeah, not a problem. So I have Aragorn. He has the outfit. Well, no, he doesn't. He's gold.
Yeah,
He's the only ones who I got a unique for. I still have 2 more slots I can fill up, gold or below.
Hey,
but
are you seeing the chat? Because I'm not seeing the chat.
A second here. Yeah, I can see the chat.
Okay. Do you see my message in the chat?
Yeah, the stream shows black screen for me. Yeah, it's running though.
Is there other messages after that?
Nope.
Can somebody type a message so we can verify the chat's working?
There you go. Dark Levi Levison.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Now it seems to be working. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and the internet is fine now. You got. Let me see. Let's check out the internet speed.
Yeah. All right.
For 500 megabits of that 600. Yeah, I mean the speed is fine. I actually might have to look into my hardware later because this is a brand new computer. It might be.
Oh.
Yeah, so it might be that something with the hardware is not holding up on the stream. So we'll see how it goes.
Brand new computer, huh? Wow.
Well, not new, but it's brand new for streaming.
Interesting.
All right, go ahead. So show us. So you got your Strider.
Oh, right. Sorry, while you were doing that, I was looking at reports that I hadn't looked at. Let's go here, commanders. So I got Strider R10, Aragorn R5, Isildur. I actually brought her from R9 to R6 to unlock him and to get him to where he's currently at. And then with Boromir. So the thing was that I wanted to try and create a universal team but like everybody could easily make and have a good, strong sub army as while using basically sub commanders. So these four with minus him, people main him still in him. But yeah, with those two, I get really good reports. Obviously, right now it's not refined. I'm talking to some devs right now. I'm getting some worn out gear turned into chests that when crossing over, I did it within the first literal minute. So I kind of messed up on it. But as far as reports, like here's.
Have you been fighting with no refine and no strengthening on your gear?
No. So this one is actually strengthened and semi-strengthened, semi.
I can't see his gear. I see this list right now.
What list do you see? What?
I don't know. Shut up.
Everybody. I mean, let me check my stream. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Okay, you're good. I see it now. You're good. Continue. Sorry, I keep.
Nah, you're good.
So I got.
Okay.
I got this gear on him. I have once I go to the gear, you'll see I have little to no armor for gold due to all of it being worn out pieces, basically.
Okay.
But you can convert, though, I think, unless you convert it already.
I converted it I didn't break it down. So I didn't break down the gear when I converted. So I have a bunch of worn out. And I'm getting maybe a third of that. A third of that was promised back to me.
That's
so I mean, it's better than nothing.
At this point, it's better than nothing.
Better than nothing.
Yes.
It's better than
that's rough, my friend. I'm sorry. All right.
It's better than.
This is a first though. I haven't seen many people running Strider and King of Men together in a setup. So that's interesting.
Yes, and you're gonna love my pony build even more. So ponies, if y'all don't know, are actually going to be a main thing. They do really good against a lot of the base. Since a lot of armies run three-man troops.
Yep.
Let's see.
I like what you did there too.
The three-man troops, a lot of people run that. So the counter to that would be to run ponies, and then the counter to the ponies would be like one wolf. Like I put wolves, the werewolves. I put those wherever they are. I put those with the ponies when I run up against them. Right there, the werewolves, and that does good. But I put Gimli. So I originally had Eomer, Theoden, Ithradil, and Eowyn, but it was tanking, but not
your build. She is. It's like most T1s. Most T1s are just gone. For now.
So I switched her out, and I put Gimli. And although with these, I don't know, I don't
Ram
remember
Riders.
the name of these. The Ram Riders. Although he's kind of squishy with them, he's now 80, 90k damage, which really, 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 really improved the build.
Good. You have some reports on that for us.
I do, and none of this was refined, by the
That's
way,
fine.
in these reports.
So that's what I've been. I was testing this in PBE with 1.0 gear, running Imrahil, Elmer, Theoden, and also running Dane in that build, because it's nice to get the healing, the damage mitigation from only for the formation, but for Theoden's formation, and then just pumping out damage with just one single damage dealer. I mean, Elmer is a hybrid, so you can kind of do a little bit of both.
So this one, like I've stated, like I stated before, after the hit, everybody just started putting out running 7 armies. Doesn't matter if they had gear or not. They just 7 armies, swarm the heck out of everybody. Do as much chaos as you can.
All right. Can you just click on the green, on the yellow button there to see the numbers for the fight? So like, I mean, you're getting hit for 130, but healing, still healing 46k. With definitely not bad. It's pretty good.
No.
All right.
I like that hit. When I saw that, I was like, I'm definitely keeping that. And it seems like people are started to kind of steal the idea, as you can tell, because I was running around with him like that. And then my secondary. So I have like 14 commanders I can play around with. This is my secondary. Oddly enough, she out damages a lot of people. I'm thinking of removing either Gandalf the Gray or Gandalf the White. Maybe slapping that on here, removing Boromir maybe, and then adding another damage dealer to this formation. Maybe move Gimli up there. Maybe complete my Dane or Bjorn. I'm loving things I've seen with Bjorn.
What's your respect level for Dane? 0. Okay. Okay, that's good.
So I am very biased against dwarves. I have not had a good gaming experience against or with them. I don't get them. I don't know. I can't seem to build them up.
Well, I respect 0, my friend. It's really gonna be hard to build them up. You can't get his R5 until you unlock it. So,
dude, you should see my R1 Gallo whipping ass, bro. Times are awesome.
Oh yeah, I promised to show y'all something unique as well with Frodo and Sam. So my boss, the leader of this group, actually discovered a build with Frodo and Sam, and everybody just started copying. That's good. This is a relatively close-ish copy, but basically the idea is for Frodo and Sam to tank everything, gating a good chunk of the damage while inflicting, while evading. Like, just the way his skill set is, he's built towards tanking. Okay. Yep. So why not add the troops, Great Beasts, which which help range units deal an additional 20%, and it's 3 of them. Prioritizes damage, they're basically just the tanks, and then 3 archers in the back, massive damage, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that. He had Frodo and Sam. He had where is this dude at? Where is he? He's one of the ones that I don't. So it was Frodo and Sam, this dude, and Faramir, I believe. And it went up against the Dane and almost went blow for blow with it. It lost by like maybe 200 HP. But it basically went blow for blow while having very subpar gear, purple against gold, about the same refinements and everything. It went blow for blow, dollar for dollar with them, which was really shocking. We have a YouTuber in here named Sleepy Gaming. He's gonna make a video about that if you're interested.
Cool. I know Sleepy. Good stuff.
But yeah, so as you can tell, we barely got our capital back last second. They drove in, took our stuff. It was a fun season, fair season, good fights.
Want to show us some of the teams that are like. Want to click on the rankings for us before we close on your turn.
Yeah, let's see it.
So the back them all. These people fought both the Erebor and Gondor the entire season with no help. Really good to them. This team was actually number 1. They declared war on us. We struck first. We knocked them out of first into third while remaining in the fourth. And then as the season went on, the people behind us caught up and we dropped in rank to there. And then we got picked apart by them after they left the fight. But neither one of us, Mingo or Whack-A-Mole, could 1v1 Thailand and win. Thailand is hands down the strongest opponents in the server.
I'm assuming they are Asian. It's an Asian group.
It is an Asian group.
Interesting. See, that's interesting. I don't think I've seen any of those teams before.
Me neither. I have not.
I love to play with some of these guys because we keep playing against the same people over and over.
Not necessarily.
Well, yeah, not the same exactly over and over in the same row back to back, but a lot of people that we already know.
Yeah.
Like these groups are brand new. I have no idea. Maybe Fire, but Fire's kind of a common name, so I don't know. But everybody else, Valkyries, Whack, Thai, Gomp, no idea. Great stuff.
Never seen any of them.
Yeah.
There was another big server just got done. It was the Morgan Goff server. That team's massive, man. It was probably one of the scariest teams I've seen. Probably one of the most dominant factions too, bro.
What's
These
their name?
dudes controlled half the map. They have 2 teams, Morgoth's Revenge and Goth.
Yeah, Morgoth's
okay.
I know. Morgoth's Revenge, I know them.
Name some prominent players.
They made 2. One's named Ace. They have so many people, man. Yeah, that's one, but they have so many people. They took over that server. Then there's so many new teams going on right now. It's actually really refreshing.
That's good. That's good news. That's great news.
We need to update your intro.
I know. I just wanted to show that to people so they know that they can have their teams there. So kind of a last minute thing. So
the shit's changing so much we can't keep up. I'm sorry.
I know.
So
everybody.
Before I wanted to show you, let's see, in my photos. So that Zenith fight that I was talking about. Oh, this was the fight, right? Well, that was the second round. Over here is the first fight. So that was the first round, right? Got me down to 2,000, but then I won the second round. This was the gear me.
Oh, you fighting Iron? Iron's in your server?
Him,
what? Wait, what?
Versus him.
We know who Iron.
So this is Zenith 1, R13, Max.
That's not us.
Or Zenith 6.
Oh, okay.
And Zenith 2.
Shoot, that's
this
nasty.
Was the second strike. So this was the
no
second
way.
If he had allowed the third one, I am sure, since all of his commanders are dead, I would have wiped out all of his troops.
No way.
Dude,
that is a crazy round.
I had full life on all my commanders.
Wow.
Damn.
That is a good result right there for you, man.
So that's what I said earlier, that I really don't think Zenith matters too much, but at the same time, I also have to take a step back and really look at the commanders that this dude used, because if you notice, there's no damage dealers in there. Basically.
Nope. And he also is running double mitigation with Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White. You have no damage coming out. You only have invasion. He's got 3 supports going at once practically. Now, let's say he had even a Dane or even a Gimli for that matter, you would have got wiped considering your formation. And the main reason why you been struck forward that second round is it depends on what it's
exactly. That's the interesting thing though. If you look at the first round, go back to the first fight. if you go back to that, you see that he got wrecked, right? In a way, look at that full life. You know, he got. I mean, less than half left. And then when they keep the draw, they keep fighting. If I would have seen that result on the second draw, I would have been angry. Because the thing is, you say, yeah, he doesn't have damage dealers, right? But you have to consider that both of his damage dealers, the gear on them, it's not fully strengthened or refined. You know, he's got good gear, but it's not at the max level. Fair. So him being able to look at that. Him being able to do that versus a Gil who still has the evasion, and Gil still will pump out 80k damage with his troops, right? And Elrond, I've seen, looking at a Zenith with his unique, I've seen Elrond's doing 120k with his troops, like because he's kind of a hybrid. Yeah. So this result is crazy good for you. Kudos, man. And the thing is, this like what you just showed right now is gonna be spotlighted in a short video tomorrow. Because that is a crazy good report right there. That's to show that, that you can still have fun with the game, even fighting against crazy whales.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's awesome, man.
It'd be neat if somebody came out and built like a big like just commander build with massive HP, massive defense, and see how long it can stay alive.
This was the second. I had used this army to kill off a different one that he had sent before. So this one was actually close to 8K as well. So this is while being injured slightly.
Man, that's awesome. That's a good report right there. I love it.
Good, man.
I figured you'd like that. I was shocked at that when I woke up and saw that.
I would be too, man.
Because
dude, I would have thought my heart skipped.
I would be too.
A nutty build going right now. I've seen my buddy did. I kind of made up the idea for was Galadriel with Fulgon's unique. She's like Madness, Depth Defenders, and he's pumped out over like 130k damage on Ballin with Depth Defenders.
Say Ballin?
Yeah, so the build I made, it was kind of like a weird idea I had. I didn't know if it would actually work. It was Ballin running all his unit boost. Fulgon's running his unique. Galadriel's running just focus hero for Madness booth. If you get Depth Defenders on Ballin with Fulgon's maxed unique, and if Madness procs and hits while the Depth Defenders activate their Madness skill, that's over almost a 40% damage boost on the normal thrower's rate. I've seen him pump out over 130k damage almost. It's absolutely ridiculous.
If you have any images of that report, send that over, man. I like seeing these different things because you're gonna see a lot of people. The meta is going to change, just like with 1.0. As long as the game stays alive, as people don't mass quit and we continue building, the meta with time is going to change because they're going to tweak commanders. They're going to bring out new commanders, new gear, like it has been for the last 2 years with 1.0. So seeing builds like this that people are willing to try alternatives is awesome. I mean, look at that. You just wiped out that one thing.
I'm still waiting for my bomber, bro. I'm still wanting my commander bomber, bro.
There's a guy in our server running around with his name is Ballin Dwallin.
This is also unique too. So don't know if any of y'all run tree beards, but one of our dudes.
That's a nasty report.
I mean, the name should say it all. The name should say it all.
Dude, you can't expose my monster tree beard, bro. I don't talk about him.
Wow.
And he has good report. Like he's our best player.
Who's your best player?
This dude, the best piece of ash. He's one of our best players.
Best piece of ash in Vancouver. These comps are crazy. Look at this shit. What in the world?
Love it, man. Somebody has to try these things out. Somebody has to try these things out.
Tree bear with the unique. Holy shit! You don't see that.
Not in 2.0 anymore.
Go back to that. Go back to that. Where are you going, bro? Go back to that.
Which one?
All of them.
That dude. Yeah. Let me see all of his stuff. I want to compare here. Let's look.
Okay. So he kind of messed up as well.
I don't want to see him. I want to see the composition.
I'm trying to convince him not to quit. Like he's really slick, obviously.
Let me see his compositions and troops and gear. Yeah, all right. So what's he got on thing? All right, let me look at this. Slow down. You got
Sorry. Sorry.
This dude's all over. We got ADD on steroids. I mean, what the fuck?
Move the camera here.
Sorry.
Click on Fangorn and just hold it.
Give me a whiff, whatever you're on, bro.
Yeah, please. Give me that Fangorn. Click on Fangorn and just hold. What are you doing? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, dude, that Treebeard's a monster, man. I got a buddy of mine started running him right now.
There you go.
I'm running a full animation with Galadriel, bro. Galadriel's pumping out over 120k damage. We're running Ents as well as a tank. I don't know how she's doing it, but she's doing it.
That's crazy high.
I mean, I've seen some crazy
Is she
things.
running her unique?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I mean, dude, I and my server's full. Like, I'm playing this season. I mean, this isn't my main go, but I got one of my alt testers. You know, I'm trying out some free to play builds for my alt tester right now. I'm in a team called Mon Dynasty or whatever. I'm just messing around in there, having fun with these guys. These dudes got some crazy players. One was on Fellows. I mean, not Fellow. One was on All Things Middle Earth's like counter review. His name's Brethen Norbro, one of the biggest whales I've ever run into. He's got 3 T1 Zenith 2. What's Benethor or Brenethor?
Benethor. Yeah, he's all right now.
The
biggest one, a guy named Pi.
Nice.
That dude collects Zenith.
I love it.
That's a good Bjorn right there.
Look at that, Anthony. That's what could have been for you, bro. You could do that.
Could what?
A tree beard.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still got him. I mean, I still got him. So I just need once I log into my account the first time to get the 30 days. I'll get some extra vouchers. I'll probably push him to Zenith because he's almost R. No, might not. I'm not gonna. No, I mean, I only need like 3 vouchers to get him to R10 and unlock his unique. So I'll probably do that.
Zenith Treebeard, come on.
No. Keep him at R10. That's fine. Just to get the unique. Just to get the unique. I'm not pumping him to Zenith. That's crazy.
We got some purples.
He's got Treebeard, man.
Got some purples.
Got some purples against that Zenith team that I was telling you about.
So that's pretty good. What's his squad 2 is a second formation look like? Let me look at that.
This guy's second formation?
Yeah.
Let's see if he posted them. Let's see. This is him just running through 5 people. Boosh. That was his first report. Boosh. Second report.
Whoever in the chat that's from Iron or knows Iron, y'all need to tell your people there's people out here using your name, man. They're making you look bad right now. They're making y'all look real bad.
You better come for them. Shout out to Alana. Shout out to Alana and Wyman in the voice chat here. They're both from Iron. Hope you're doing well, Alana.
Yeah, King. That's your reputation.
Oh, and
right
Blue Eye Devil's also in Iron too. Shoot, we got Iron in the house right now.
See?
Free.
Yeah. Can't have it.
I'm the lone guy that don't even have a team. He bounces team by team testing commanders. You already know.
67K, 94K. Oof. I think this is his secondary. I think we found his secondary team.
Right.
Oh yeah, let me see it. Where is it?
Right here.
Which one was he? No,
so fun fact about that mount formation, dude. So that formation out the mounted units is actually the most free to play friendly option out there right now. It's Imrahil, Theoden, Aeromir, and Denethor. You get those 4 together. I watched this one. I have a report I can show you guys. Blue gear on all 4 of them, wiping out a Zenith, like almost a full Zenith squad, because the healing on Theoden's the highest in the game right now. It's just
let me see the healing.
I've seen this. Dude, I don't know.
On the horse.
I'll pull up the report for you. I've seen.
The horse comp.
Yeah, I've got so many, dude.
Let me see that.
I got so many reports I can send you, man. We have 18 members running that horse comp, so I got tons for you if you want some.
So this is what you guys have to do right here, really quick. All right, so we got some people watching. You got you guys here. I'm gonna create. I have a channel. There's a channel in the Discord called. Let's see. I mean, was it deleted? Let me see here. Yes, it was deleted. So I'm gonna ask Avila to put it back up. Send videos of reports so we can analyze them in like on either just on regular videos on live streams. You click everywhere. Show like we're doing right now. You click on the report, click on the gear for each commander, click on the gear for the other commander, click on on the little yellow button so we can see the damage from like that one right there, and just post that in the server so we can analyze it, because things like this, it's like low spenders might feel discouraged to play the game because they're like, oh, I don't have a Dana Artet, I don't have this and that. But when they see builds like these that you can easily make with lower gear and like lower respect, people can still find a way to play the game, and we really need to do that if we want our community to stay alive. We need to be posting, the crazy whale fights, but also the other ones, so people can have fun. All right, go ahead, show that one. That's a pretty crazy one.
Get off me.
316 18 damage done. Oof. Received. Ouch.
We're running into a lot of those, that horse comp, that popular horse comp, meta comp, whatever. With the
Which one?
Yep.
Theoden, Emerhill,
Mm-hmm.
Denethor, whatever. Running in a lot of that.
So actually,
it's the most free to play friendly one out there right now.
Yeah.
Take out Denethor and slap Gimli on that build. You'll do so much better. I'm doing so much better since I've done that, and I'm really thankful.
The thing is, when you're going down like that low, though, Denethor requires, more free to play friendly wise, Denethor gives you more of a boost in the defense need for more of those free to play formations if you're not pumping out as much damage. That's why Denethor is running as well as he is with these like little amount of gear. Like there's a couple commanders out right now that do a ton of damage. Like the best, like highest damage I've seen out of cheap gears. Azra Core, bro.
Oh, definitely.
Like I said, he's a monster, man.
Yeah, but the thing is, he is a monster in TE.
I made 2 of them myself.
He's a monster for sure in TE. I want to see how he does outside of TE because, I mean, I'm running him. I'm running him in TE right now. He's doing crazy.
Free fielding glory right now.
Isn't this the build that we were discussing earlier? Isn't this the build we were discussing earlier, right? With that other dude before me.
Which one? Oh, with the Sestaro.
Sestaro,
but he's Sauron is on his main formation, and so is Shadow. He was talking about Sestaro, alerts, and 2 others, so he can. So we talked about Isildur as well. So, you can go either with Isildur or with Gandalf the Gray. The thing what I like about Isildur, if I'm not mistaken, he has a skill that will pump out attack on formations, right? If I'm not mistaken. And so he's gonna help increase the damage output from Lurtz in this case. So it's a mix and match. You can play a little bit of both. The nice thing about choosing wisely your commanders is, you can run both. If you have enough respect to at least R5, you can run both. You can try both Gandalf the Grey and Isildur because you can run them with essentially the same, not not necessarily the same because you want to stack focus on Gandalf the Grey, but if you can't, then you can play with the same type of gear, so that you can test it out. We gotta.
Yeah, Siege is super rough in 2.0.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the only gear I'm keeping in all my accounts is the Siege from 1.0.
Mm.
No, I'm not.
What you talking about, fool? You kept all your damn gear. You ain't converted.
That's what I'm saying, though. But that's
probably
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe they'll convert purple axe. That purple axe with 45 damage compared to my max stacks, which is not as high.
The thing is, wait, give me a second here. The axe gives plus attack, right? Not damage.
Yes, plus attack. My bad. Not the same thing. You're right.
Yeah. So if it was 44 attack, then everybody be running that thing. Forget Axe of Casa Doom. Battle axe for the win there.
Mm-hmm. So y'all seen my characters? What teams with those 12 to 14? Because I'm working on Dane and Bjorn. Those aren't quite ready yet, but will be soon. What type of build should I go for? Should I keep what I'm doing? Should I switch it up?
All right, so
I don't
repeat the commanders really quick because we're kind of like showing multiple things at
go
once.
through the lineup.
Show us the lineups really quick. Show us the lineup really quick for each formation.
Just what commanders you want to use. Yeah.
All right, so there is. Let's go over here then. There is Aragorn, Galadriel, King of Men, Isildur, Bjormir, Gil, Gandalf, Theoden, Gimli, Gandalf the White, and Yomer with Imra Hill.
All right.
And then eventually I'll have Bjorn and Dane up there. But,
do you have to break down all your stuff, or all your stuff's already converted?
All my stuff is already version 2. I'm just trying to get some worn out gear converted into the chests.
Let me see your items. Let me see your items.
Alrighty, not a problem. So this is what as you can tell.
No, your gear. Sorry, not items. Yeah, there we go. All right, so stop.
This is what I'm currently wearing.
Okay.
But I have more that I'm not.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
All right, God. I was like, okay, that's better. Because I was like, wait.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay, yeah.
We're missing some holes. Some holes are missing here.
I think, man. I think honestly, instead of worrying about you're talking, well, what 12 should I run? Here's what I would do. And I don't know good side. I can't sit here and speculate and try and tell you what's the best on good side. I can tell you from experience of what I'm fighting when I do get a fight in our server. But what I would do is I would just look at your guys and think, okay, what guys can I run together? And, what gear can I make and make one good set, the best set you can make that kind of will work and can be swapped out between 2 or 3 formations, hopefully. So in other words, you use the same set of gear for 3 different formations if you can make it work, and just focus on making one great set of gear that can be used on multiple formations.
Exactly.
And
then you create formations that you can play around that, right? Because you showed 3 or 4 or 5 damage dealers, right? So I would not run in this case. If you're trying to run multiple formations, I would probably run 2 damage dealers and 2 supports. Some kind of support. You can be, can be crowd control, can be damage mitigation, can be anything, right? At once.
The 2 best mitigators. Go ahead.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree 100% with Jack said. Have, one gear set for one type of formation, and then duplicate those types of formation with the other commander. So if you're gonna run Dane and Bjorn for your damage dealers, formation 1. Okay, you need 2 sets of damage, physical damage right there. I'm gonna run 2 other damage dealers in formation 2. Then it could be King Ahmed and Strider, right? Formation 3, Gimli and someone else that you want to run. There you go. And then the other 2, you would then see what you can do. You got Gandalf the White. You can run Falcon, for example. I'm shouting out names here. It's formation 2. You can run Gil. He's not necessarily a support, but if you run him, he's gonna have to fit somewhere. So you can run Gil and then Gandalf the Grey, for example, as your other mitigator. And then for your formation 3, find 2 other similar types of commanders that you can use that you can swap the gear for. So maybe Theoden doesn't really need damage. He needs to increase his command and things like that. So maybe Theoden and Imrahil for your healing, your 3rd formation where you're gonna do a lot of healing, something like this. Because that way, I agree with Jax, and that's what we said earlier. If you have lower amounts of gear, the best thing that you can do is create sets that are equal in all formations. Maybe it's not going to be 100% equal, right? You might have for one commander, the gear set might not be the best, but it's close enough where you can use it in 3 different formations and just and play and have fun. I don't know what they're gonna do with the stamina system. It makes if they're able to get a balance right on the universal pool of stamina, that would make it so lower spenders could run 1 or 2 very optimized formations the whole time, because now you have a lot of stamina moving as much as you want instead of having the commander stamina pool like we still have right now.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Go into your commanders.
Yeah.
Go to your commanders, select any of them, and then hit the book at the bottom right, the recommended builds, and then go to evil.
Evil.
Yeah. Nope. Just hit the commanders. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, they removed the evil and light. You just have to find the commander now.
Yeah, go to evil side if you would. Evil side, evil. Yeah, and just hit, I don't care, anybody. Witch King, sure, yeah. So you're only, that's weird.
Hold on, let's go.
Yeah, there's not a lot out there. Yeah, man.
No, but select
go
the options.
Go R5
everything.
and then level higher level, all levels.
I want to see okay, so slide down. Let me see what's on there. Yeah. Okay. It's just keep going. 6, 8, 10. So it shows you 10, huh? Interesting.
Why is that, Jax?
I'm just wondering if it, what it shows on other people's. Because when I look at it, I'm like, where's everybody's builds? There's nobody putting builds on here.
A lot of people are not putting builds on that yet.
Yeah. I only see
they implemented this on the update I think a couple days ago, so a lot of people don't even know that's there again.
They did. It just came.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
So I will say with your builds you're going with right now, the 2 top mitigators in the game right now is Gandalf the White and Fulgen.
Mm-hmm.
Fulgen can get 95% on his own mitigation. Gandalf the White Fulgen can get the highest in the game. He can get the highest achievable. Gandalf the White is the best universal between all your troops. Those 2 are the highest mitigation in the games right now. Fulgen and Gandalf the White. I would say if you want to keep to that basis, especially like the fellow was saying, keep that compatible gear. The best thing you want to do is stick to this common basis of 2 supports, 2 damage dealers, or 1 support and 3 damage dealers. Because if you were running Fulgen and Gandalf the White, that is 2 mitigation that can cover your entire almost completely. Yep, that's a ton of mitigation. And when you have them separated between 2 separate formations, you're getting almost complete mitigation on 2 separate formations that almost have complete transferable gear, depending on your one you're running. So just keeping to that basis of transportable gear between different formations is essential to compete in this meta where it's just constant back and forth with this. You got to keep fighting this, but you want to transfer gear so you keep staying in this fight.
And now no familiarity.
That you stick to something, make it work.
Right?
Yeah.
Now you can just swap stuff around without the 50% issue.
So having that accessibility. Yeah.
So I have enough gear to make 3 sets of 5-star purple max plus. So
yep.
I think I'm good on the gear aspect other than of obviously what sets go with what, meaning like sharp blade, persuasion, war cry, all of those type of deals. Which one works best with
for
who?
physical damage dealers, like we talked about earlier, if you're gonna run purple gear, my recommendation is that for physical damage dealers, you want to pump out that attack, because the attack is the first thing that is subtracted from. You're gonna hit with your attack, and the defenders are gonna defend with their defense. Whatever's left over from that then it gets formulated with the damage and whatever else is the formula. So for purple gear, I would try to get sharp blade on your damage dealers. That's what I would do to pump out that attack as much as possible.
All right, so Alana's up next. Let her show her account.
Later, guys. It was fun.
All right, bro. Thank you. Alana, are you coming up?
In the chat.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Hey.
It's good to have you.
Good to be here.
Awesome,
hello.
Awesome. I heard Alana has a nasty account.
I do. I'm borrowing a friend's account. He's just too busy in real life, and I happen to be borrowing it, and it's pretty crazy. And he's given me a lot of, pretty much freedom to do whatever I want. So.
Oh Lord.
All right, hold on. Let me get set up here, and I could do the screen share. One moment, please.
You know what the problem?
That'll be like Frankenstein building some monsters, boys.
You know what the problem with having a beard is? Well, there's many problems, but you know what the
There's
problem?
no problem.
Well, you know what the problem I'm having right now?
Are you itchy?
Kitten.
What?
Kittens.
Really?
What about kittens?
Yeah. The kitten attacks me all the time in my face and my beard because he thinks.
Are they nuzzling your beard?
Well, my cat. She like an attack cat, so it's like death by 1,000 tiny cuts. So it attacks all day and all night.
Look
it
at
doesn't
that.
stop. So then it gets up and sleeps.
I gotta say, that's an awesome place to have a battle. Where you're at right now, dude. That's
weird. Yeah, he tries to get up under my little beard and attack me constantly. Right now, it's right here attacking me right now.
You gotta send pics. Jax picks.
All right.
You got the Dane, Bjorn, Gandalf the White.
So handsome with a beard.
Yeah.
All right, so
All right, let's see who's commanders.
Look
You got
at
Dane,
that
Bjorn,
beauty, that maxed out beauty right there.
yeah,
Holy moly.
he was only he was like R6 when I got this account. So I pulled the respect and bumped him up to Z6.
Too much
Bjorn,
shine
I brought
going
to
on there. Too
Z1.
much shine going on.
I have
Beat
never.
me out of that server.
This account is insane. Like going from my own low spending account to this is like mind blowing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's nuts.
Me?
So
Holy moly.
Oh, and it's got the best. Oh my gosh, that is best for your Bjorn.
Yeah.
I love you. He's
So I
sick.
don't know if y'all know this, but Perseverance and Fortitude of Men actually stack every turn, so you gain +2 damage every turn. It stacks for all 10, so
that's
plus
the idea.
20. And it's late game damage too. Damage dealer late game. Perfect. Oh, jealous.
All right. King of Men, Z3,
Gorgeous.
Nice.
Pretty light.
and I got the Sky R11.
Beauty.
That's
So, question: why did you choose that hat though?
for initiative.
Well, the initiative, the unit defense, and the
That's-
command. I've been throwing
That is
the command
good
and
help.
the unit defense.
Hmm.
It keeps him alive much longer.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Saves his troops. Because before I was just
That's fair.
in the beginning, I was doing just focusing on focus, the highest focus I could get, and I was dying a lot. I was losing a lot of troops. So I switched to the high command and unit defense, and it's a major improvement.
So you prefer the command over, so command focus over the no, because the other 3 is that. So 3 focus, 1 command.
So I had him built at first with damage, like the damage
Mhm.
items, the high focus damage items.
Mm-hmm.
This,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm doing much better like
Interesting.
this.
Can I see the skills really quick, Alana?
That's what I'm running myself.
All right, yeah. So you're going mostly for the support role. So I'm assuming Gandalf is not pumping out as much damage as normal, is he?
Say that again.
He's not putting out as much damage, is he? His focus damage is
Not
His
really.
damage amount, his commander damage. How much is he giving you
Wyman.
per?
Wyman, I hope you don't mind if I show our test reports.
Don't do that. All right. Okay. 36. Okay. See, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it works kind of.
It's pretty
good. It
good.
works kind of like what we were talking about with another commander a couple days ago in our group.
How are you guys fighting each other? What?
They're betraying each other. Alana, say nothing. Say
we're
nothing.
each
Say nothing, Alana. Hide the screen, Alana. Say nothing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm not saying anything. Nobody can
Get
see
away
anything.
from there.
Yeah. I see.
The ghost.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Wyman, it was
So,
Wyman.
I'm
Just really quick.
It's
It was
exposed.
not me.
Bro, that's the new meta right there.
Yeah, that looks
Ladies and
good
gentlemen.
right there.
Is get the Paths of Dead first and get your commanders to 50 first. Fighting each other.
Hey, were y'all on?
Can't tell people that.
Were y'all still active when they nerfed the Ghost King of the Dead?
That was bad.
I
So
pulled
why
respect out of.
though? I'm trying to understand as to why he was nerfed and why so quickly, because he wasn't even a thing on my
No
server.
idea.
Nobody even knew
No
about
idea.
it until we saw that he's getting a nerf. I was like, I should probably try and see as to why.
No idea.
And I got one.
So the main. I kind of have a little background on what happened. So King of the Dead ended up being kind of broken with 2.0. Although Earthbreakers got debuffed,
Keep showing your
his
commanders.
survivability was.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
My
yeah.
other, my main
His
formation.
survivability was absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. My main formation is what I've been focusing on, so their gear is pretty much set.
That's a lot of damage coming at you, boy.
I've tested refining the HP gear, and it doesn't seem to make a big difference. So I'm leaving it unrefined for now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this gear I can strengthen a lot more. I just have been working on the main formation. So my next formation is probably going to be Gil, Galadriel, Elrond, and Gandalf the Grey.
I hate that.
What do you hate?
That formation. I mean, I hate it as in it's good.
Oh, okay. And then Gimli,
Really?
Gimli's awesome, but I'm doing really well with these 4, so I'm kind of just keeping.
Oh, definitely.
Why don't you stick them for your ponies then? Why don't you stick them with your ponies like I did?
Definitely. You got a perfect formation.
I've never been big on the cavalry commanders. I mean, I was at one time, but it's just depends on the server situation. Like right now, the situation we're in our server, I have like hardly any resources. I cannot sustain constant conscription of cavalry. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
And I know Jax doesn't like
Someone
that.
understands it.
But yeah, I
don't accept that. I make sure I have enough resources to sustain any type of
Yeah, well, easier said than done, my friend.
Yeah,
my
I know.
Friend.
Well, with what you have, you can kind of
you can do anything really with that account. But I mean, it makes
you just got to do
sense,
it
though.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
The thing is, I'm not personally, for the level of investment that you need, I'm not really getting personally. I mean, I have my Galadriel is Zenith 9. I'm not understanding why people are wanting to run her. Her healing is it's just useless. 2 trees of healing, and in a PvP fight, you're gonna get maximum from her without her unique, maximum like 15,000 of healing. So you have her R0 skills, or her R0 skills are her strongest skills. And I just don't see the benefit right now, at least until they fix healing or just improve it, any reason to run Galadriel.
Well, I'll show you when I show.
Pride is doing pretty damn good with his. I don't know.
The same thing.
Dude, I'm doing great with Galadriel as well.
Yeah,
see, the thing is, but that's the thing. I compare a R10 Galadriel with an R10 Dane, and it's not near it close to the difference in performance.
Well, Dane you want to go with Dane first, but Galadriel's still very good. I disagree.
I still pump out with her.
And
in the league
dude, she's pumping out
Heralds. She still pumps out
damage.
80k with only purple.
Yep.
And I almost was gonna pull respect from her, and I decided. I talked to a few of my friends, and I decided, you know what? What if they fix the healing and she's OP again?
Yeah.
Like
exactly like they did in version 1.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it's really not. Galadriel's not.
Here's
You don't look at
a bad
Galadriel.
commander right now.
Yeah,
She's not bad.
You don't look at Galadriel as like, oh my god, it's not enough healing. She isn't a healer. She's a focused damage commander. That's her strength, and that's what she excels at.
Yep.
The healing is a byproduct.
I don't know,
And
man.
like
2
my
trees
guys
of healing and having 15k of healing. It's like having having a damage tree that does 15 k of damage the whole fight. It's just too low.
Overall healing is not great. Yeah, I get it, but
a couple of the guys from my lame group that were using her, like had her basically respect 25, had her unique like almost fully maxed or fully maxed. It was more about like just anchoring and outlasting the other commanders. She would out heal them, and it wasn't necessarily like that she was dealing a ton of damage, but she could withstand a ton of damage.
We got a guy in our server in Gondor named Three Keepers that runs a Gandalf. I'm sorry, runs a Galadriel focus composition. He's tough.
He's tough, but that's the reason also is because he's running everything like Zenith 3, right?
He's got Galadriel,
King of the Dead,
Gandalf the White, King of the Dead, and who's the other one? Gandalf the Grey.
I think it is. It's not. It wasn't a damage dealer. I think you're right. Obviously, it does really well.
So here's the thing, though. Galadriel's still fairly really good. Like I'm seeing some crazy amount. I've seen as high as I have a report that showed me 98 KO for my buddy got it.
Yeah.
She's still pumping out decent damage.
Yes.
And
exactly.
so I decided on one of my accounts right now. I'm playing her as I'm playing her at R1 right now. I'm playing her R1. She's out damage dealing an R10 Gimli. I mean, and she's out damaging him.
Yeah, I mean, what Fellow said was correct, though. Like, if you got choices, who do I go with here? Dane, Galadriel, whatever. Obviously, Dane is going to be first choice, right? But after him, whoever, then Galadriel's got her place.
Yeah, Galadriel is decent. She's decent. I think she'll do fine. But yeah, I mean, you don't really need to, you don't need her at R Zenith anything for her to do, because really, like, the trees that you really need, you can get with a R1. You have enough skill points to max out Galadriel at R1. So for the trees that really matter, which is the damage right now, and that's why I'm saying it's kind of sad, because if you can use a commander at R1, because the R3 or R5 are basically right now useless, and it just really means that she needs a rework. Either remove one of the skills that's healing, do something else, or just improve the healing overall. But yeah, Galadriel's decent. Yeah, I use her usually.
Say it's definitely great. Yeah, the only other commander has extreme survivability, and can outlast anyone right now is, the highest survivability in the game is obviously, I said, Falcon. I mean, he's the only one that can truly survive anything. Mm-hmm. He can go through. I literally
I countered that with Treeborn, with Treebeard.
Yeah, Treeborn can do. Treebeard can. Oh, I almost said Treeborn. You suck, man. Treebeard. Treebeard can outdo him sometimes too, but I've seen a full just a purple star Fulgon tank of Zenith Dane, and he's still alive.
Also, Fulgon is one of those that you really the skills are the key, right? Because support, that's kind of the whole support thing.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So it's good. Purple gear will do fine on him.
Falcon is annoying.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's a monster now, man. I love him.
I haven't seen it. I haven't been able to, as y'all saw on my map, I never was able to get over there to fight Erebor. But from what the Variags were saying, and from what I heard, Erebor was getting mad because as you know, the not too much evil side's been worked out yet, as far as what commanders went with what, and if they are now, it took them a bit longer. So at first they were just having to bounce them. And then when they would fight them, it was like my other reports I showed, it was just tearing through them.
Yeah, evil. I mean, I've been focusing on my evil accounts for the last few weeks, and evil has its challenges, just like it had in 2.0. Good side was just easier to build, a little more straightforward. Whereas with evil, you really needed to look at the skills and really synergize the few different roles that you the few real useful roles that you have in evil. But once you actually start cracking those, it's actually really fun to play. Evil has always had its issue, like in 1.0, but it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, we finally got evil to a point where it was usable by the end of 1.0, but it sucks. But it's the thing though. If you look really deep into stuff, and you actually go through all the benefits and you look at an entire table of what could you benefit from, there's so many things out there that from even week by week, this meta is going to change. We're going to see new things. We're going to observe new things. We're going to figure out new things. Evil, there's so many theory builds people have been trying right now, and I'm enjoying it and all that. It's fun to test out things. I just feel like, we'll figure it out eventually. But, just on the meta, we're trying to fight with it. It's going to be frustrating, but,
That's also why.
It's just how it is.
Also,
just
to close on Alana, and we'll go to our last and closing account review today, is that at the end of the day, you want to play with the best commanders that you can, but also you want to play with the commanders that you like. Because, the meta might change. They might bring a commander that makes Witch King OP again. Somebody that's going to synergize so well with Witch King, he's going to bring him back to being OP. So as long as you're having fun, find a commander that's gonna do you well, and just play with it. I've seen Witch Kings pumping out 80k troop damage, 80k 90k troop damage because of the certain builds. So you can do some stuff.
Sorry, I was just real quick. This account, like I said, it's not mine. It's a friend's. He was a whale, and I'm borrowing it. But this is really exciting for me because my regular account is a low spending account. I've never used Bjorn, King of Men, Gandalf the White, Dane. I've never used them before.
Yep.
Your
So now
God
I get
mode,
to use
Alana,
all
your
of them.
God mode. You're in the rare air right now. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
You'll remember it the rest of your
Yep.
life.
20 years from now, I'm gonna come back and watch this video just to just so I have some nostalgia from the Rice War days.
Yeah. It reminds me in 1.0, I was like, for a really long time, I had never really spent much of anything. But I knew everything about the game. I knew how things worked. And I got permission to help like build this one dude's account. And he spent well over like $30,000 in 2 days building his evil side, bro. I built the most monstrous things, and I had the privilege to just sit on tiles and collect prestige. It's a feeling. Tell you.
That's why we do it.
Exactly.
By the way.
Exactly. All right, guys. Alana, anything else you want to show us before we move on to our last guest of the day?
No. I mean, you know, if you guys want to see a couple older reports, I could pull them up, but I don't think there's really a need for that. I've been playing with gear and testing everything, and I think I found a sweet spot.
What's your
There's
level?
one.
Real quick.
There's one bad thing about you playing with that account, Alana. You know what that is?
What?
You got a bullseye for Jax.
Good.
So we're gonna face Iron.
Come and get me.
We're gonna have to face Iron again, huh?
Yes.
I want to play
have
with
to fight
Iron.
my Iron.
No, the next time we play with Iron, we got to be allies. I want to play with him instead of against him.
Mm-hmm.
Iron beards.
That'd be fun. It's
Yeah,
gonna be fun.
I wanna-
I'm fighting
wanna
the
be-
fake Iron.
I want to
I'm
jump in
fighting
it
Iron.
with him.
Great guys.
I'm on the search for a team. Don't mind me.
Alana, did you see Bayek?
Who's
The
that? I don't know.
The Dark Crow, the one with
Oh.
the Aragorn, be fighting those Irons.
I saw a little bit of your account. I joined kind of late.
Yeah, so the highlight apparently will be me versus their Iron leader, and it's gonna be a doozy.
Okay.
It's funny.
All right, Jax, you ready, my friend?
Oh, you want me to go? Yeah, I can go for a
All
little
right.
bit.
And Jack's gonna be the last one we're gonna showcase and have a look at, and then we're gonna close the stream for tonight. Don't forget that Friday we're gonna have we're gonna do lives 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So stay tuned for the notification soon.
When's the podcast? The live weekly podcast show.
It'll have to be like we talked. You know, it might have end up being on the weekend again.
Well, or Monday maybe, unless you got something to schedule for Monday already set.
Monday's good. We can do Monday as well.
I think we need to do like maybe a tier list for the first podcast.
All right.
2.0.
I think it's too soon, don't y'all?
Depends on what
but
you're
at the
talking
same
about.
time-
Depends on what you're talking about.
Yeah, at the same time, it's like that's why we haven't really been active and been doing a lot of content, is because we wanted to test it and we wanted to get experience and knowledge behind us before we put out content. But at the same time, you need to kind of give some people something. Yeah, all the streamers out there that jump like day 2, here's the tier list. Like, come on, bro. Like, you're going to be wrong about stuff. And even now we may be wrong about stuff, but I feel like you got to put something out there and do your best.
You sure do. The thing is, it also depends on what you're doing a tier list of. You know, if you're trying to, I don't think we should, because now there's like really like there's roles within each with informations more than ever. Ideally, you want to do I would do a tier list of the roles, right? So you have your damage dealers. You do a tier list. You rank all of the damage dealers, who is the best and the weakest, and the same thing for the other roles for support, right? Defense troop commanders, offensive troop commanders, and then you crowd control commanders if there's more than a couple, and then you rank them inside their categories so people know what are the best to look for in each of those categories. That's what I would do, because you can't really compare Valgan to Dane. They're not doing the same thing, and so it's really
be sure to check.
They had different roles in the
Exactly.
matter.
Well, the thing is, I feel like not everybody's really done. Here's an example. I don't really know how to explain it well. A lot of testing on maybe the subpart, like who, like if my boss didn't have a random idea of, hey, let me try Frodo and Sam just because I can, we wouldn't have known that Frodo and Sam is actually really good. I know a dude that's tested Golden Legolas,
oh my gosh, he is getting amazing reports off of that. Like better than on par with Gimli, if not slightly better. It's like, and then my Aragorn build that you saw, it's like commanders that were trash aren't necessarily trash anymore, type of deal. So and there's not a lot of people who I feel stayed that could have helped us test if they're going to quit anyways. You know.
Yeah, it makes testing and tier listing things a little bit rougher because not everybody's willing to test. But the thing is, after nobody can change anything anymore in respecting things, that's really when you're gonna see a lot of the meta coming around. Just because I feel like even these like unique commanders you might want to play, like Frodo and Sam, I don't think they will be commanders that you will need to invest into like Zenith to make them useful. So anybody will be able to really invest in them in the future. Whereas people, it's rough, man. It's 70 commanders. It's really rough to be able to to have useful reports on all of them, But I get you. It's gonna be the nature of the game, anyways. you will see.
You got a guy with a Zenith 10 Aragon in our team.
Aragon, King of Men.
Yeah. No, Strider.
Really? Zenith 10?
Yeah, and he's doing like 120k damage.
Whew, that is.
You get me in contact with
that is a heavy investment.
I'm running Strider.
He's been using them since the beginning, so he was never going to go back on them.
All right, Jax, come on, man. Show us.
My buddy Pyro has a NF.
Yeah, I'm sharing.
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah, like walk us through your main formations and why you chose them the way that you have. This is gonna be kind of a lesson for people that Jax had like studied for hours what he's running. So pretty solid advice that Jax is gonna share here.
Yeah, I mean, whatever formations I'm running is subject to change. So what you may see now may not be something that is here tomorrow because it's based upon what you're fighting, who you're fighting, what faction, what people, what you need, this and that. But and really only thing I'm looking for with my account is any critique that can happen to optimize it would be great, because I feel like maybe the gear set kind of and I don't know that the formations are set, but the gear and skills and everything are set, but formation subject to change. So any kind of constructive criticism, critique to optimize it even further would be great. Formation 1 is Witch King. He's got, this is a troop build. Troop build here.
Look at that command. Oh.
Yeah. Well, all the troop guys got high
600
command.
plus.
Hey, Jack, since you're like the first person I've met that can actually do this, is it better for a formation to have like every commander one set like sharp edge? Like, does that stack like all the 20%?
No, it's gonna give you. Well, yes, it will.
Wait, can you repeat that question?
He's saying use this gear across the board and does it stack? Yeah, it gives 20, 20, 20 every time.
No, it's 20 for the whole fight. It's just 20.
Yeah, but it's 20 that you're getting on top of 20 on top of 20 for the whole fight. It's not like every round 20. It's just you get the 20 applied.
He means it's stacked to 80.
No, it doesn't stack to 80. It's just 20 the whole fight.
Stacked to 80.
Yeah, it's just 20.
20 every round.
But you get it from everybody.
Yeah, no, I was just making sure that people they didn't think that was going to be 20 stacked on every round. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, so this is a troop build with 1 damage dealer and evasion, of course. So you got Witch King, Black Serpent, and Uglerg all kind of geared out to do damage with their troops. And the obvious bonuses from the skills like Horn of Harad and Black Captain. He's got this, I guess, that helps a bit. This Mountain Orc leader, and then you got your one guy doing some damage and doing a little bit of evasion. It really works out to like just the first round.
Oh, that's a lot. I mean, how much damage is your Undying putting out?
Well, it depends. I mean, you're asking me questions like, what's the best formation? What's the damage? It's all subjective, right? Like, it depends on what you're fighting, who you're fighting, what troops they have, what gear they have, what formation they have. But he's good for somewhere between 80 to 120.
That's good.
Depending.
Yeah, definitely. That's good, though. 48, 66 range and damage, 244 of attack.
If we want to see a report, then we can go in here and look at reports. And again, this is all subjective. Like, here's one I just had. I got hit twice, back to back.
60K.
So there's 77 he did. The thing I like about this formation is the balance. And that's been hard for me to achieve, to get balance, because I'll have formations where, like Saruman. I was just talking to a guy last night in the faction chat about Saruman, and I wasn't getting good damage numbers out of him. But then when I looked at the formations that he was a part of, it was like he was going. He had the worst initiative. He was going last, and then he has a major damage skills that doesn't go off till round 3, and it's like there wasn't enough troops left to do damage. You know what I mean?
He just be killing off the rest. I got it.
Yeah. There's nothing left to kill. There's nothing left to damage, right? Because other people are doing that.
Yep.
But this is a good indicator of what I'm talking about as far as balance. I attacked back to back, so it's 2 hits on. I didn't reinforce, and you can see that the balance is there. Like, everybody's doing good. So that tells me, even though these guys are not strong that I was fighting, neither one of them are particularly strong, but it tells me when I do fight somebody that's really good, then I'm going to have the same balance in that fight, and it'll be higher numbers.
Yeah, that's pretty good balance right there. You got, ranging 56 to 74. Yeah.
Now, what I was running before...
The only thing I'd be worried about is a little bit of your survivability on the dying. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Your survivability on the dying is a little bit of an issue. I mean, if the thing is, though, he's going to have his limits with that. I mean, it's when you're running almost no supports that provide any type of cover like that, it's bound to happen, That's the only thing you got to look out for. Because you're taking one big hit, and you take another mediocre hit. As soon as that undying gun, you're out. You got mitigation. That's about it at that point,
Yeah. So
I feel like you just have to worry about
Yeah.
that survivability of undying.
Yeah.
That'd be my only concern
You're
with
right.
this formation.
You're right.
I think it's solid. Just you have to keep. Yeah.
That's kind of the slippery slope when you're putting this together for damage dealers. It's like, okay, do I throw a command defense, helmet on, or do I just go full all in on damage, or what do I do? So that's kind of like, two opposing schools of thought and trying to reconcile them is the issue. Like, what do I do? So I just go all in on damage. But what you're saying is correct. So the other formation that I ran before with the same kind of setup was you take him out and you take him out, and then I was just running pure troops. So then what I did was I put Sanid in here with some beast, and then I put Azrakor in here, with some Arbalest or whatever, and just ran full troop. And that wasn't as balanced. It was like somebody would do good, somebody wouldn't, whatever. But this formation has been balanced for me, so I'm keeping it like this. So then I took what should be here normally is, like you want all troop bonuses, right? Instead of having one guy doing damage or whatever, just boost all the troops and do it that way. But so I took Sanid and I took Azrakor that would be in these 2 spots, and I put them somewhere else.
All right. What else you running?
And then this is the Sanid one. So now you got these first 2, Sanid and Azrakor. They would have been in the troop formation, but now they're over here
trying to got a legendary 10 Azrakor.
This is not
that thing. I bet that thing's a monster.
This is just a tank, really, but there is no real tank because there is no real leader. Everything can get hit equally, but this can tank damage in and of itself on its own. So it's all you get a high defense going here, and a little bit of attack. Attack's not bad. I mean, that's not bad. 163.
Yeah, definitely.
And you got Azrakor.
That's
of course, 240 or whatever. 214 is great. You got a little bit of defense there. And you got your damage dealers coming in, over the top.
That's a nasty lurch right there.
For the other one, wouldn't it be better to have Perseverance or Shark Blade?
Which one?
That one.
Perseverance over which one?
Shark Blade.
Perseverance. Maybe, yeah. Maybe. Potentially, yeah. Might be something.
Yeah. I mean, his troops are under without Sharp Blade. They're under.
Okay.
I got it.
All right. We'll see you. All right. Thank you. Sorry, I got people over. Okay, so then you got your 2 damage dealers, and then you got your Skull. I've kind of been disappointed in.
Really?
For whatever reason. I don't know if it's just there's no damage to put out or what. I don't know.
Let me see where your 5 out of 10 is.
5 out of 10.
On the skills. You got your first skill 5 out of 10 in the what's that one? Is that the Lord of the Wolves?
Yeah. Oh, you're talking look at skills. All right, yeah. The problem I have, and this is a unique problem, and I'm not risking a modesty. I'm not trying to brag here. Is I sometimes I'm having the problem of figuring out who does what because there is no primary. Everybody's doing great, right? And some are doing greater than others, and there's so much damage going out that I don't know what people are capable of or if they're doing their job because there's so much damage from someone like Alerts, for instance. He puts out so much damage. I don't know if there's any left for Scowl. Like, that's the problem I'm having.
So Scowl, I've been part of some testing of Scowl. Scowl, unfortunately, I'm not seeing anything extremely high that's worth investing in. That's something everyone before, like pre 2.0 testing, we all thought Scowl was going to be a god. People went straight in investing Scowl. But then we realized, they made changes with the transfer point. I looked over the skills. I've done testing the skills. Yeah. They debuffed some for damage skills in the first place versus original PvE testing. So when I went back to testing, you're maxing out about 80k on his own if he's the main damage dealer in that formation. That is a huge issue with that. It's not that, and trust me, I can see that. Like, definitely, you're invested in him. Even if you were to push him to Zenith or even a unique, you're only going to pump out another like 5k, 6k damage because he isn't that. It doesn't have room. He simply doesn't have damage to put out.
Yeah.
His damage skill's been so badly nerfed, and where they're at as of now isn't fair to other things. Right. You're better off getting other people like even bigger damage dealers. Like, dude, Saruman, I've seen as high as 130 recently. I saw an 130 with him, dude. Saruman's pumping crazy.
You know what?
Even Azure, dude.
I tend to agree with you, right? Like, I agree with you. I'm just kind of down on Scowl. I don't think she's that great after what limited experience I've had in this server and battles I've been able to get in. I just don't think it's that great. I actually think Lotr might be better than Scowl from some of the testing I've done.
So that is something I was looking into. So what I've done too, you were correct. I've seen some things with that person as well recently. And the thing is, that as far as the major damages in like evil side right now, especially, you're looking at Lurch, Saruman, Shadow, Undying, and a couple others. But the biggest damage I've seen is out of Shadow, as a Cure, Saruman, and Lurch. Those 4 right there are your biggest damage dealers.
Yeah,
the two highest out of all those 4 though. Yeah, the 2 highest have been Lurtz and Azakor. Azakor, I've seen 220 on a report. Nice. I mean, he's ridiculous. Right?
The highest I've gotten on Lurtz so far.
Oh yeah, TE.
The highest I've gotten out of any commander so far is Lurtz with 173k, and that was actually the 3rd battle, and I was at a little over half strength. So I'm not sure how he pulled it out, but I think Lurtz and Shadow are probably the top 2 for me right now for evil.
And those 2 together will go so well.
All right, so then the last
what I do.
The last formation is as follows. So then you got your Sauron in the support role.
Yep.
And then you got, the reason I'm using this is because there's a lot of these healing horse comps you guys were talking about earlier everywhere.
Yep, Sauron is a perfect counter to that. There's very few. I completely agree with that. That's what I told my buddy to do. It's perfect. You've done that right.
I think there's only 3 on Evil that have this, and we're RP, mind you. So there's this guy, Quran, and Gothmog have this.
Exactly.
Skill. And then you got Saruman.
Perfect Saruman. Love him.
Then he's been performing in longer fights, I found. Shorter fights, he just doesn't put the damage up. But in long, really good fights, he can put up, around 80, 90, 100.
Yeah, dude, I've seen some crazy recently.
285 in focus. Man, that is crazy.
Well, this is only level 40. Dude. This is only level 40. I'm only level 40. Bear in mind, everything you're seeing is level 40, not level 50, like you see on other streams. This is level 40.
Yeah.
And then you got
Star is a monster.
And I have no problems with Shadow. He does a job every fight.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I just only think I feel like I'd be worried about Scalham and the Undying information with survivability, but Scalham especially, man, like she's just not getting damage out there as well as she like the investment, especially you have into it.
I agree. I almost want to go over to this guy. This guy puts up crazy damage in the beginning of the fight.
Yeah,
like,
Lather, I've got some reports of
crazy
some
damage.
crazy damage as
Can
well.
I ask a question?
Dude, you're even. Yeah, go ahead.
Jax. So
Yeah.
you've done chests in 2.0, right? And you said that
Yeah.
in roleplay.
Yes.
Okay. So in non-roleplay, they kind of combined the free chest thing.
Yeah.
And off chest.
Yeah.
They combined them. Did they do the same thing in roleplay as well?
Yeah. People are complaining nonstop.
They've done that.
in
They've
the
done that everywhere. Yep.
So
Why am I getting fucking whoever when I'm good side? Why am I getting whoever because I'm bad side? It's constant.
Yep.
yeah,
It's in this
exactly.
chat
I've
all
been
day
getting-
long. All day long, dude.
I had no.
The game's going NRP though.
The funniest ones, though, check it out. The funniest ones are dudes that get on here that are Russian, that are upset because the Russian doesn't always translate, and they just talk crazy anyway sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But then when they throw insults out, that is one of my favorite things in mobile gaming and gaming in general. In chats or when Russians start insulting other people, this is like one of the favorite times to be alive for me because they just say the craziest things, or it's translated into the craziest things, bro.
That's
And I
probably
just
what
be
it is.
laughing my ass
I
off.
agree.
They be calling each other's ants like one-eyed raccoons and just crazy shit, bro. And it's just the best. Bro. There's nothing better. Somebody called somebody like a Western rooster the other day, and I just love it, bro. I just love it. I can't get enough.
You should have seen the failed.
That's why
we had a dude called my buddy a failed ham and cheese sandwich from America. It was rough.
See what I mean? That's why I want Anthony to get this damn stream in Russian, so we grab up all the Russian players and I can get more of it.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it, bro. I cannot.
But no, like I'd say, like I said, dude, like you're in a very good situation. But I feel like I said, dude, like if you can figure out some balance there with balancing out Scalaham's damage and finding a valuable replacement, and maybe even maybe finding a better person, even like fitting that survivability for undying, I think you're in a fairly well situation as far as things go. But obviously, Evil's at a hard spot right now, especially in RP. It's kind of going to become one-sided between good side fights. I mean, it's just how this meta is right now. I mean, you need some crazy investment to make some things work on Evil, just like it used to be. But like I'd say, you, especially in a fairly good spot, I think you got little kinks to work out. I mean, we're gonna figure them out though. I mean, it's gonna take a while to get everything perfect. But overall, man, your account looks great, man. The only thing is like little things like I'd like for Azakor, since he does elemental damage in the first place, especially in TE. I mean, with him, you always get Lord of the Arcane on him. I've seen crazy more, even extra like 10K off of that.
You know, I've tried that.
It's just
anything is possible. By the way, like you're saying, we'll do this. I can do anything I want at this point. But I've tried, like one of the things you're talking about, I've tried the Lore Arcane, and it was actually a little bit less damage. So I just stuck with this. But it could be. Maybe I'll try it again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you try before?
But like I said, dude, you're in a perfect
Did you
spot.
try before Dispersion was on your Arbalists?
No, it was with both.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and it was like like 20% less. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it was the troops. Maybe it was, who I was fighting or whatever, the enemies. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the rough thing with the new report system, right? You can't really go down that rabbit hole every single fight. You know, I mean, let me look through this manuscript of what happened in the fight. You know, an hour later, you're still round 3. So
yeah.
Shout out to Zane. Zane is in the house. Hey, what's up, Zane? Are you gonna unmute yourself to say hi to everybody? Zane is in the voice chat. Never.
Zane's alive.
He's just listening. He's just listening today.
Zane's alive. It's a good day.
It's.
See, here's a guy running on the Undead Commander, King of the Dead, and he does well with it. Formation. He puts up solid numbers for him.
What was his numbers?
I've seen this guy. This guy get 70K. I fought him. I don't know, like 6,
look at that
times.
HP.
70K once against me with this King of the Dead.
Look at that HP, Jax.
Yeah, I see it.
That's a random number to get.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely that formation will beat a lot of things, but honestly, I mean, look at that. I mean, the ones doing the most damage are Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
He
look
could do
at
better if he switched things, to be honest.
So yeah, that's why I say.
See, he did like half and half with Gandalf the White. He did half him and half his troops.
Man, in TE, running all Dunedain comp will give you like 2.5 rounds of evasion.
Yeah, I
That'd
know.
be wicked, bro.
This is a tough fight. It's definitely a tough fight. It's even worse if you hit him with Arbalest. You know, it's even worse.
Dude, that's nuts. All right. Well, anything else you want to show us, Jax, before we close?
No, that's it.
All right. Let me just see a couple messages really quick. Let me see here. All right. Give me just a second. I got a couple things to share with you guys before we close. Remember how we did... Here we go. Where is it? Let me click here, get the link. Remember how we did the live stream a couple days ago, about, Dane and Lurtz? We're working on some more of those. So I'm putting the link here. I'm going to put it on the Discord as well. Let us know what commander you'd like us to work on later. We're gonna work everything in the dashboard, everything on the spreadsheet, and then we're gonna present it to you guys on live stream. And you guys can ask questions during the live stream for those two commanders. It's gonna be one good and one evil. So far, next in line is Gandalf the White. Unless you guys want that change, you gotta vote. You gotta vote in the form. And for evil is going to be your boy Sauron. So Gandalf the White and Sauron should be next. We got 39 votes so far, so cast your vote in there so you guys can be part of our commander guides in video form. All right, so I was gonna show you one of my accounts, but it's getting late for me over here, and I don't want to get you guys to write me on Discord later, say I can't watch these live streams because they go for for 7 hours live streams. I can't do 7 hours live streams anymore. So We'll close right now. We're 2 hours and a half. Don't forget, guys, a couple of things. Friday, we're going to have our live stream. I'll let you guys know probably tomorrow what the topic is. We're trying to create a routine where we have every Monday. That's you guys can count on as being the same content every Monday. Wednesday's the same thing, and Friday's the same thing. So you guys can plan your days if you want to join, if you want to watch it later, so you guys are aware. All right? I appreciate everybody being on. The funny thing is, let me just close this thing right here. Funny thing is, about an hour ago, the stream went stable. No more drops on the connection. I don't know. It might be that my internet, a lot of people are accessing the internet exactly at the time when we start the stream. I'm gonna have to look into that. But the stream is pretty stable right now. I want to thank everybody that was on. We got Alana already left, but we got Dark Crow. We got I am who I am. Can't remember his whole Discord name, which is kind of funky, but I called him I am. And Jax. So we got 4 people showcasing their account and getting it reviewed. If you guys want to have your accounts reviewed, we got another form for you, which is also going to be posted in the Discord. We've posted it before, but if you guys also want to have your account review, here we go. This is the link. Okay. Don't forget to let me know what your Discord is, because I need the whole thing. If your Discord doesn't have, the hash and numbers anymore, just let me know whatever is your tag on Discord so I can reach out to you, and get you guys to get your accounts reviewed. All right. Looking forward to it. Guys, thank you guys. Woo, it was a good day. Thank you, Zane, for being on here. I know you're just listening, but Amon, Jax, you remember the guy that I said his Discord name was Daddy? And you're like, I ain't calling nobody Daddy. Remember that? Jax.
Yeah, I remember that, bro. I had to change afterwards. The ops were after me. I had to change it.
That's Ammon right here, okay? I want to thank the Blue Eye Devil for also being on. We got Dark Crow, Gorem. I remember you, my boy. Hope you're doing well. And Wyman. All right, thank everybody for being on. Thank you guys on the chat here. Got Porky, Faden, Michael, Jordan. Who else we got here still? We got 2 Steps from Heaven. Bohica, I'll let you I'll send out to you a message on Discord. Silent Echo as well. Send you a message on Discord. Set you up for, doing your accounts review. Probably gonna, Dark Crow's Michael Jordan. Sweet. So on that note, we're gonna try to, to hold every Wednesday for account review. So if you want to be part of the next one, just let me, fill out the form or send me a DM on Discord. All right, everybody, I'm out. See you guys on the next one.